Hello, ladies and gentlemen. That's 5 hellos for Cloud 5. Welcome to Cloud 5, the podcast where 5 British idiots delve into the latest and strangest and totally bonkers headlines and trivia. Before we dive in, some introductions to the cast of irreverent imbeciles who'll be guiding you through this week in weird news. First up, I'm Jack. We've got Brandon.
Hello!
We've got Joe.
Hello.
We've got George.
Whoa, hello.
And we've got Luke.
Hello.
I realised I swapped George and Joe round there.
I know, I realised that as well.
You did.
Threw you off.
Jack, it's sort of, it did.
I got to keep you on
Threw
your
me off,
toes. I liked how George went, "Oh, hello."
I'm really nervous now. I don't know what's coming next.
Jack, there better not be any more curveballs today.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, we'll be playing the
There's
rest
too
of the
many
podcast
balls.
completely straight. Don't worry.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God for that. I'm in a bit of a, I don't know, there's something in my foot and I can't get it out.
Something in your foot.
Your foot.
Yeah, like right at the back of the heel. It's just in there, man.
Cut to George with like an entire stake through his foot.
Once I went on a
fence
homemade
post.
water slide, and I was on my knees, and then I got a rock lodged in my knee, and I did surgery on myself, and now I've got a huge dip in my kneecap from when I did surgery on myself at 10 years old.
Could you do surgery on me? On my foot?
Yeah, I can come remove the item in your foot.
Just remove the foot, probably just
Cut out
Is
the
it-
middleman, seriously.
Is it like bone, George? Is that what you're feeling, or is it something a little bit more?
Is it
or
like a
less?
rock?
Or like
Is it a rock?
I think it's a seashell.
a seashell?
a seashore.
Okay, I get you.
Are you walking in the sea?
I was walking on the sea.
On the sea, like Jesus.
I know, that's a little shout out to Jesus.
Oh,
If you're listening.
you've always got to get a shout out to Jesus. Always got to do that. What I was going to say, how have the last 2 weeks been for you, gents, since we updated the podcast?
It's good.
Absolutely
I was in
terrible.
terror because I was like, it was great until I realised I'd have to record another session. My podcast. That ruined my week.
I've been vaccinated this week. First
Have
dose.
you
Really?
the first one?
Yeah, my first dose, because I'm still 17, but they've opened it up to under 18s just recently.
They've opened it up to the children now.
Yeah, so
yeah.
basically you can get it if you're 3 months from being 18, or if you
Yeah.
live with someone with a low immune system. So I might poison one of my family members so I can get the vaccine.
That's probably worth it, Brendan.
I think the reason why they've done it is because they want to get university students or prospective university students. They want to vaccinate them so
I'm a
that we don't go to
prospective
uni and
university
kill
student,
everybody.
But I will go to university and kill everyone. I'm already preparing my weapons.
Yeah, chainsaw, revving it up.
What have you got ready, Brandon, so far?
I have a sword. I have 7 axes.
7 of them now.
Why 7?
Yeah, and I have a
Is that just-
Siberian
Is that just
tiger.
COVID purposes, like one per kill, sort of? You don't really
No,
want to
no,
get
so I
infected?
use each axe for a different body part. There's a big one for the head, there's a little one for the penises, and there's 4
Penises.
Multiple of one person.
How many are there?
For the penises.
The singular head and the multiple penises.
Yeah, well, I'm going up against, yeah.
Something weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could say that there's a lot of drama coming up soon because, the UK is now completely out of lockdown officially. The restrictions are gone. How are you guys feeling about that?
Not good. I've got a bet going on with one of my mates that we'll be U-turning or back in a lockdown by September or October.
Oh yeah, we'll be spending Crimbo in a bunker.
Yeah, I've seen
Oh,
people walk around Tesco with no mask on, licking the peaches.
Licking the peaches. And in this, I've got some news that I just wanted to talk about because it doesn't really fit anywhere else in the
And
show.
pop culture, by any
some-
chance.
It's not some pop culture. No, don't worry. We're never going back to pop culture. But what do you guys think
Shame.
about the news of Jeff Bezos going to space in a giant penis?
I liked
What?
it. I think it's funny. Have you seen the image of him and all the people together who went? It's Jeff, his brother, some 18-year-old, and a bloody ancient old person who's just sat there half dead.
What, in a wheelbarrow? Did they know that it looked like a penis? I'm sure they must have done.
Oh yeah, that's how you design a rocket.
No, it isn't.
That's how
I've
you
never
design a
seen,
rocket.
ever in my life, seen a rocket. The amount of rockets they've sent to space, never has it looked so phallic.
The final year in rocket school, they basically have to take you through an architecture course where basically they show you Renaissance
To get the
images of
penises out.
penises.
Yeah.
And then you
yeah.
have to, and basically you have to do life art with clay of a penis. I went to the Fitzwilliam Anthropology Museum in Cambridge recently, and there's like an entire section full of Renaissance art, and the amount of like really weird looking people. Because you know how Renaissance art has like the weirdest looking people ever.
I have absolutely no idea what that is.
Like kind of 1500s. It's just like oil paintings.
Oh
you know?
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
but
familiar
weird
with
people.
the 1500s.
And the amount of like
so that's
people that
good.
are like morbidly obese with like a little like pinprick of a penis in those. It's so funny.
It's amazing how body standards have changed so much. But anyway, back to Jeff Bezos, right? Do they in like the final year, like you were saying, of rocket building school, do they just go, okay, you've been here for several years now, forget everything you've learnt and just think penis? That's what it's got to look like. The balls are optional.
They're not optional.
As long as you get the correct detail towards the head, you know.
Surely it's not aerodynamic to have a big buoyant like sphere on the front of your, because it wasn't even like a sperm or an arrowhead. It wasn't like streamlined in such an obvious way. It was like that. It was like bulbous. It doesn't make any sense.
You know, I learnt the other day that some sperms can have two tails.
Can they really?
It's science, baby.
Well, I don't want to give spoilers, and I don't want to hype it up too much because I don't want you guys getting too excited. But we will be discussing sperm in today's podcast.
Ah!
Oh really? This will not be done.
Oh, I'm so thirsty now.
It will not be done. Oh God!
It's so
Why?
thirsty.
God Almighty.
Why?
And just before we move on, I want to issue an apology, not to the viewers for what they've just heard, but to all French people. Now, this may be controversial, I know, amongst us, because we've established a kind of track record when we talk about the French.
For hatred of the French.
No. Our disagreements with the French on certain cultural issues, right?
We are on such thin ice.
But there has been an update recently, and I'm visiting our anchor page, our distributor, and I've realised that we now officially have listeners in both Malaysia and France.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yes.
How many?
So,
It's just like one each.
so I'm sorry. Yeah, one person in each country. I'm sorry if bonjour, pardon for all of the shit.
J'adore génocide.
No.
Oh my God.
No. We're really sorry if you listen back to previous podcasts, French person. I do apologise for what you hear.
We're not going to stop doing it either.
With that apology out of the way, yeah, no, exactly. I mean, we're not going to stop. It's just be warned that you to expect, and we don't mean anything by it. Really, genuinely,
mosh.
from a serious perspective, we do not hate the French. It's just a joke. Okay.
To a mosh.
Before you guys, bombard us with baguettes, throwing them over the channel or whatever you do. Whatever you people do.
Whatever you people do.
Yeah.
people.
Okay, so with that apology out of the way and all of that shit done, let's dive in to Cloud 5, Season 2, Episode 2. First up, what is it, boys? What is first up?
First up is Factoids.
Yeah, it's Factoids.
It's Factoids.
It is not Factoids, you filth. It's Headliners.
It's Factoids.
It's headliners.
Oh, we are smart today.
That's a classic mistake. Was that genuine, or were you fucking with me?
No,
No,
I actually
it's
thought it was
genuine.
Factoids.
Are you stupid?
Yeah.
Is that last?
We've done 11 episodes of
is
this.
last.
Each episode is an hour and a half long. We've done about 15 hours of this podcast, and you're telling me that you think Factoids comes first?
I just want to identify the bollock ASAP. I thought you'd get confused. with the Factoids.
ASAP.
Well, now, if Factoids wasn't last by default, I would make it last as a punishment to cuck you out of identifying the bollocks, okay?
That's a bit pretty rude.
Wow, gonna edge for 4 hours as punishment.
First up, it is Headliners, the weekly segment where you lot fill in the gaps of the zaniest headlines I could find in the depths of the internet. First headliner. Argentine Health Ministry needs 10,000 blank for educational purposes.
Ducks.
Dildos.
Brandon is weirdly
Is
close.
it mangoes?
No.
Condoms.
Did you say ducks, George? Sorry, as your first guess?
Yeah, I said ducks.
Well, no. But that would be a good curveball to include ducks like 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I said
Spleens.
condoms.
Condoms, no.
Yeah,
Brandon
condoms,
is
so I
still
said.
the closest.
Sex dolls.
No.
Fleshlights.
Colder.
What about
Condoms,
What about
no.
spleens? Or like,
Vaginas.
The Argentine
Meat
Health
and two veg.
Ministry needs 10,000 wooden penises for educational
Basically, it's what Brand
purposes.
said.
why
know,
Don't
wouldn't?
count.
I've actually
I-
seen a wooden penis before. I saw it in the anthropology museum I was talking about earlier. The Egyptians used to have wooden penises for some reason.
I think we
Yeah.
know what reason.
Can't think of why.
Imagine getting a splinter up your bum.
They were probably polished, but that's not what we're talking about today. Firstly, I want to talk about how the headline has "for educational purposes" as like an addendum, like to make sure that you know.
It's probably like sex education.
It's for science, guys. It's for educational purposes. Jesus. But actually, they have ordered 13 million Argentinian dollars worth of wooden
What's the experiment?
penises. That
That is
goes
quite
to
a
about 139,000 US dollars. So maybe it is not as drastic as we
Jack,
thought,
what's
but
the,
that's still a lot.
What's the purpose? Why do they need them?
Well, apparently STIs such as syphilis are kind of rife in Argentina at the moment, so these wooden penises will reportedly be used for sex ed activities.
Ah, very good.
Yeah.
Boring.
So, but there are conditions, by the way, for these penises. The sculptures must be neatly polished, and they must measure around 17 centimeters.
That's
Around, gotta have
that's
exact.
wow. That's a big
17
penis.
point what?
They are wanting like a standard penis length.
Standardized length. Standardized girth.
It doesn't say anything about the girth.
What's the point in specifying length and not girth?
Yeah, exactly. It's unscientific is what it is.
It could be 4 meters diameter, and we wouldn't know.
Can I also
Exactly.
say that the 17 centimeters is equal to 6.69 inches? As an average in Argentina, you're doing well. If that is your average, that's not too
true.
bad, is it?
Did you know
That
the
means
UK's
there's
average
plenty above.
penis size is 5 inches?
Yeah, I did know
Really?
that.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
Obviously, the Argentinian government has made sure, because this is state funded, right? So the Argentinian government has made sure to be like constantly reiterating about how it's for education. They've obviously been like justifying it, but the news has gone viral nonetheless, and memes filled social media on Friday as soon as it became known. And this is also other needs to be fulfilled at the state's expense are 10,000 dispensers of condoms, which will be
Nice.
manufactured in
That's
such
good,
a way that it can be hung in public buildings. So do you know what? I think I'm going to give Brandon and George a point
Yay!
There's
getting
points now.
that right. There are points now. Curveballs, bitches. I lied.
There's too many
What?
changes. I can't deal with this anymore. We need
If
to
I
stop
get
this
enough
right
points, do I get a prize?
I don't like this point-based
do we get like a
system.
winner of each day of each podcast
Each
day?
podcast day, yeah.
But that's just silly
I
because
love it.
that like
You're the salty. You don't have a point, mate. He's winning. He's on
Stop
top.
doing my shit.
Yeah, deal
It
with
may
it.
not last. It may not
that's
last.
the
But
reason.
I'm just trying something new. Second headliner: Cop calls backup for drone following her. Sorry, let me read that again. The inflection was wrong.
Following her.
The inflection was so wrong. Cop calls backup for drone. No, I'm gonna. Okay, all right. Cop calls backup for drone following her, only to find out it's blank.
It's a taxidermied
Amazon.
ostrich.
Amazon. Bird.
It was not a bird. No.
Is it Amazon?
Amazon.
Yeah, is it a delivery drone?
Was
No,
it a UFO?
it wasn't a drone. That's the point. She thought it was a drone, and it wasn't a drone.
Oh.
Bat.
Is it
Is it a
like...
paper aeroplane?
Is it like a
Was it a bat?
bumblebee? Like a really,
Was
really,
it
really
big
big
chunk?
elephant?
What?
No.
That makes no sense.
Mosquito.
Big
No.
elephant,
Is it
did
a
you
bumblebee? A really, really big elephant?
It's
That's
none of
Oh, I
these
bet
things.
you
the
it's...
same thing.
I bet you it's a sticker on the back of her vehicle or something.
That would be hilarious, and I would totally include that if that was the headliner. If she thought it was just like it was like a reflective sticker on the back of her.
Yeah.
I would have
Oh,
like
that would be
couple
amazing.
cutouts or something.
Is it Grey Ape?
Great ape. No.
Is it a bonobo orgy?
What, the
It's gotta
roaming
be
orgy?
happening in the sky.
She dropped
No.
an apple and they're following her.
We're coming.
The answer is cop calls backup for drone following her, only to find out it's planet Jupiter.
Oh, what?
I was close then.
You weren't.
I was so close.
Luke, I guess you could say your answer was out of this world. Wait.
Oh, so she
I see what you did
so
there.
she saw something in the sky, thought it was a drone, but it's a planet.
That is exactly right. A rookie police officer in Glasgow was recently embarrassed to discover that the drone she thought was pursuing her to a shopping centre was actually the planet Jupiter. She left her station around midnight on Tuesday, when she first saw the bright light she believed to be a drone. She attempted to quote-unquote lose the drone on her way to a local shopping centre. However, she failed. Afraid, she called the general complaints number for Police Scotland to report she was being followed by a drone and couldn't lose it. The operator working the complaints line told the officer to return to her station where she could meet with a senior officer. So she did as she was told. When she arrived at her station, she was found standing in the police yard with her hood up, trying to hide from the drone, and pointed out the bright white dot in the sky. When the senior officer looked up at the light, they realised that the drone she'd been afraid of was actually just Jupiter.
What an idiot.
Moronic do you have to be?
You do have to be a maybe not the most intelligent person, but she was very new to the job.
Someone wasn't top of the class.
And in fairness, astronomers have tried to explain this. So Jupiter is on its way towards opposition on August 19th, which is basically when a planet or another celestial body is in the opposite part of the sky to the sun, like parallel almost. So during this time, a planet that it is at its closest to Earth, so it makes it look much larger and much brighter than usual. So as Jupiter's kind of making its way towards opposition, those in the northern hemisphere can see it very clearly from evening until dawn, as this officer did in Glasgow. What is hilarious, I love this, the officer's mistake is the talk of the station. Nobody can quite believe it, an anonymous police source told the outlet. She was very alarmed and spooked that she was being followed by a drone. Apparently, those at her station are concerned. This is going to haunt her for years, they said. Local reports did not name the officer. So they've left her name out to save her the embarrassment.
What, because she's so embarrassed?
But yeah, they are concerned that she will be haunted by the embarrassment for a long time.
Imagine being haunted by Jupiter.
Let's be honest, she deserves it.
Have you guys ever made like a really embarrassing mistake like that?
Oh yeah, so many.
Yes, and it has come up before on the podcast, and I'm not reiterating.
Oh, what, your fallopian tube issue?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that issue.
Did I tell you guys about when I was in the queue and I thought my dad and it wasn't my dad?
No.
Right. Well, basically, I don't know where I was, on holiday somewhere, and I saw my dad had like already eaten dessert in this place. It was like a buffet thing.
Yeah.
And then I thought I saw him go back up for more ice cream.
Oh no.
So he's wearing I think he was wearing the same colour top or whatever. But I went up behind him, I pulled his shirt, and I was like, Dad, that's way too much ice cream. And he turned around, it just wasn't him. I looked back at my table, my dad's just laughing at me. I fully told this guy to stop eating ice cream.
It's funny you should mention that, because I have a very similar story. I think we were in Bury St Edmunds for like Christmas shopping or something, and I was about like 6 or 7, and I smacked a man on the arse because I thought it was my dad.
Oh my God.
Why are you
so
doing that to your
sus.
dad, Jack?
Because it was just a funny game that I would do to annoy him, and I did it, and I thought he was gonna laugh. And from behind though, he had dark hair and he was wearing a big like long coat like my dad did.
Yeah.
And so I just swung and smacked him right on the buttock really hard, and he turned around and it was not him. He wasn't even Chinese. So like I don't know how I got the mistake. I made the mistake, and so this man. But because I was so short compared to this man, he turned around and he didn't see me. He obviously thought that his like girlfriend or wife had done it as a joke. So he turned around and he had like a faint smile on his face, and then I just ran between the crowd, and I don't know if he saw me or not, but yeah, I that's the time.
To this day, he still thinks he has an admirer.
He has an admirer, yeah. So and to this day, he's had to live with the knowledge that he may have been molested by a 6-year-old.
Once I worked at a pub, right? I used to work at a pub and I had to like serve food, and I was just like serving like this big family their roast dinner. It was really nice until I spilt gravy on a baby.
Scalding hot gravy.
Yeah,
How hot was
literally, I just sat there and I just watched it drip on the baby's head, and the family was just looking at me, and the baby started crying, and I just walked off because I felt so embarrassed.
Oh no!
And then I smashed the glass on their table as well, right next to the baby. I just hated that baby.
Yeah, you were subconsciously trying to destroy your nemesis there. Yeah. That's what was going on.
Bloody Timmy.
Third headliner. This is a twofer, so there's 2 blanks. Do you think you can cope with that?
I don't know, Jack. There's more of these curveballs. I don't think I'll be able to cope.
I know. Blank. holds contest to find out who has the best blank.
Man holds
NASA
contest to find
and
out
cock.
who has the best penis.
It is not. It's weird that your mind's... Is that because of Jeff Bezos? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
There? No, it isn't to do with who has the best penis and who can shape their craft to be the most like that penis. No.
Oh, is it man has a contest to see who has the best sperm?
You're right on the second count.
So sperm.
That's a point, Brandon.
Say it again, Jack, with the sperm involved now.
Blank holds contest to find out who has the best sperm.
Is it like a government?
School.
Country? School?
School.
University?
Sperm bank.
Luke, that is a point. Sperm bank.
Oh yeah, got a point.
Yeah,
Let's go.
that is exactly
Luke's
right.
Finally got a point. It's not a loser.
Sperm bank holds contest to find out who has the best. Oh my goodness, Brandon. I
Yeah.
will still give you the point, but it's actually sperm bank holds contest to find out who has the best semen.
I was gonna say semen if it wasn't sperm.
You didn't say
Just 'cause
semen though, so
it's
you
like-
did
it's
kind
like
of edge
similar, though.
in there.
It's like similar though, so I
Shut up, Luke!
I'm already
saying.
immediately
I'm winning!
regretting. I'm regretting the point thing. I don't know if we're going to carry over the point thing. It's
Yeah, we need. Yeah.
It's
Well,
encouraging.
similar,
It's
so-
encouraging bad relations between the members of the podcast.
I'm
I was
sharpening
saying
my
it was
7
similar.
axes. Luke is my first target.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the Human Sperm Bank of Shanghai.
As opposed to what?
I'm glad it's the human sperm bank and not like the elephant sperm bank.
No. They do. Some
Oh my God.
institutions do kind of. There's no way to say it without it sounding weird, but collect certain species.
Harvest.
semen. Harvest. Yeah, I try to avoid the word harvest, but it's for like conservation purposes. So there is a reason for the distinction, not because like
Rubbish.
I'm
there's just
sure
this
there is.
underground network of like badger semen harvesters that are just kind of going around. No, it's the Human Sperm Bank. It's a competition amongst college students to see who has the best semen in order to promote reproductive health and recruit donors. Donors are offered up to $1,160 for replenishing the bank's supply.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, the summer contest will pick those who have the highest sperm count and motility, which is speed, as winners, although their names will not be released to the public.
What, in case you have like an awful.
Well, no, they're not going to shame people for it, but like even winning the sperm competition might be faintly embarrassing.
No, that'd
Why?
be amazing. I'm a winner.
People just aren't generally comfortable with chatting about their semen, are they?
I am. Because I'm
Okay.
a winner.
I don't want to.
'Cause I'm a winner.
I don't want to enter that territory. This is my fault for bringing up this headliner, but
You've opened Pandora's box.
Chinese sperm
Pandora's
banks have
cock.
actually reported in recent years a general decrease in sperm quality, according to state media reports. Growing demand for fertility treatment is happening, so sperm banks have sought to encourage donations by paying men more and have campaigned to reduce the stigma of visiting a sperm bank. So you need to visit several times within 6 months, and then you'll receive your $1,160 in subsidies.
It's a lot of money, though.
It's a decent amount of money. To drum up the interest, Sperm Bank has been posting winners online, not with names, but these are based on sperm count, percentage of abnormal sperm, so not perfectly shaped. So it's funny that Brandon mentioned sperm that have 2 tails.
So when you get like 2 babies.
No, but it's just a sperm abnormality. So basically, it's like if you're looking at a sperm under a microscope, is it perfectly shaped? As
Is
you would
it
imagine
weird?
one to be.
Imagine a square sperm.
Bit weird.
But June's winner across all categories was someone who had a sperm concentration of 208 million sperm per milliliter of semen and a motility of 76%, more than twice as high as the normal level, the sperm bank said.
Superman sperm.
It is noted, guys, that the man liked literature. So I really am kind of at an
Wow.
advantage here.
I'm a geologist. I bet you I'm gonna be shooting blanks.
Yeah, I think you might be. You might be. Because,
No way.
obviously, literature people,
Shooting blanks.
they are the ones with some great sperm.
I don't think that's causation, Jack. I think that's just...
Yeah, it's causation, Luke.
No.
So, ladies, if you like a man who hates the French and has amazing sperm, hit me up. That's it for headliners, guys. If you have any headliners for us,
Factoids now.
send them to us at cloud5cast@gmail.com or tweet us at cloud5cast
Jack, don't
using the
forget
hashtag cloud5.
factoids.
We will do factoids at the end. Oh my god, what's got into you with this?
What do
Why
you
so
mean?
randy for factoids right now?
Just like
Factoids.
Because I'm Randy.
Jesus Christ, chill out. This week in Weird, what would be your ideal funeral? I'm going to go to Joe first.
Has to be Randy.
Has to be Randy. So you want an orgy? Is that what you're saying?
Randy.
Is that what you're saying for your funeral? You want an orgy?
Plus a hunt.
Oh God! A hunt of what? Like a large royal hunt where the king and his men go out into the wilderness and catch a boar. Is that what you're saying?
It's basically the winners hunt the losers.
I see. And how are the winners and losers determined?
By clout.
By clout.
Joe already knows. Joe keeps a file. Joe will access his clout database. Okay, Brandon, what would your ideal funeral be?
Get me a big boat. Put it out in the middle of a lake, fill it with loads of random crap and my body. I don't know what could be on it. Maybe some stuff that burns and causes a health hazard in the area. Some fireworks. Maybe a bomb. Just fill the boat with a bunch of dangerous stuff that could cause just immense catastrophe.
Carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah, and then set it on fire. Just watch as my body burns. Fireworks go off. Harmful toxic gas is released into the nearby village. Water tables ruined.
So it's like an industrial Viking funeral, is what you're suggesting.
Yeah. I kind of just want my funeral to be the start of the end of humanity. Like
gender reveal parties causing horrific wildfires and stuff. You want your funeral to cause mass biohazard.
The couple, actually, completely off topic, but the couple who actually caused that wildfire that lasted 28 days in America last year were charged with involuntary manslaughter.
Oh God, were they?
A couple of days ago.
There was a man who died horribly because I think there was he had a cannon or something that was supposed to
It was a firefighter.
reveal. Was it? Yeah, he was a firefighter and died from burns or explosion because of his stupid gender reveal party. Anyway, this is a funeral that I happened across in the news this week.
I didn't get asked.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go through everybody then. George, what would you like?
Oh well, if you don't want to,
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure we all want to hear. It's
felt
fine.
a bit left out.
It's okay.
Luke.
What do you want to do for your funeral?
Probably get lowered into the ground.
Wow.
Nice.
I wouldn't want something crazy. Something simple, man. I just want something nice.
Well, that's good. That's very respectable. What about you, Luke? Do you have a wild funeral idea?
I think either one of two things. You know in Doctor Who when they burn Matt Smith's body and they push the boat out into the lake
Viking funeral.
as it's
that's
burning.
What you need.
Yeah, that would be good. Or in the middle of a forest in a clearing, just
So
dig a hole
you set
and
fire
shove
to
me
a
in.
forest because you're on fire.
What,
Nice
you
for me.
dig
a
the
hole
hole
and
and
dump
lie
me.
in it and wait till you die.
No, I'm obviously already dead.
Oh, okay.
And or cremate me and then pour my ashes over.
Or your
Your
ass.
acid.
Ashes, not acid.
Your ass. Pour my ass.
Pour my ass.
Well, this is the funeral I found. Okay, this is a headline. Garda, which is the Irish police force, investigate after hearse carrying coffin involved in dangerous high-speed driving incident in Dublin.
Nice.
A video
nice ride.
circulated on Snapchat showed multiple vehicles driving erratically and at high speed through Crumlin, South Dublin. Vehicles could be seen driving at speed, beeping and cheering, veering in and out of heavy traffic, racing through a red light and driving on the wrong side of the road. The hearse itself appeared to be driving at high speed as other cars and motorcycles raced behind it, beeping their horns and shouting, with most cars carrying images and tributes to the deceased. The hearse was carrying the coffin of Dean Maguire, one of 3 men killed
Good old Dean.
during a high-speed chase involving Garda last week. The man filming the video can be heard shouting, "Go on, Dino," as cars following behind the hearse rev their engines.
It'd be really awkward if there was a high-speed collision and everyone there died.
Yeah, it'd be quite ironic, wouldn't it?
And then they all have funerals where they're in dangerous high-speed chases, and it's just
And
it's
that's
just
how
domino
humanity ended.
effect.
That's how Dean died.
Yeah, that's the end of humanity. Yeah, because it just spirals out of control. I think maybe Dean probably could have done with a slower procession.
Maybe they could have loaded his body into a cannon and then fired it at high speeds.
I think Dean would have loved that. It probably would have shredded his body.
Oh,
And so,
yeah, definitely.
I don't know how it would. I don't think it would be as smooth as you. I don't think it would be the intact body would arc perfectly into that. I think it would the cannon would fire and just this horrible red build would just fly out the end of it. That's actually the first of 3 dangerous driving related headlines I found this week alone. Woman accused of letting God take the wheel before Ohio car crash.
Wow.
She was
What a
31.
moron.
She was 31 years of age. She was driving a car with her daughter, aged 11 or 12, late at night when she let go of the steering wheel and stepped on the gas in a supposed attempt to prove her faith. Her out-of-control car raced down the streets of Beechwood, Ohio, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The vehicle ran a red light, clipped a car at an intersection, taking out its front bumper, knocked down a utility pole and took out several power lines before crashing into a house.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That's quite disastrous.
Did anybody die?
I don't know, but the woman
Somebody
later told
hurt?
police... the woman was fine. The daughter is not mentioned further.
So what about this woman's daughter that was
I
in the
hope
car
she's
with her?
okay.
Yeah, well, she wasn't mentioned, but the woman later told police that she effectively, quote, let go and let God take the wheel, unquote, before the crash
God
in
just
order
didn't
to
take it, did
test
he?
her faith in God. She also admitted to having struggled with some trials and tribulations after recently losing her job. So that's fine.
So
then.
does she still believe in God then after that incident?
I don't know. That's a good question, and I'd like to ask her that. You know, did that? What was the outcome of this test of faith, other than several thousands of dollars worth of property damage? Other than that, and possible jail time. What
Yeah,
was the
probably
outcome?
scarring her daughter for life.
What was the spiritual outcome? Yeah. Oh my God, her 11 and 12-year-old daughter stuck in a car with a woman who's clearly going mad. I mean, I feel really bad for the child there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for them.
Oh well.
I'm sure, but because the police are involved, so she'll probably be taken care of.
Away.
Take her around the back and shot her with a silenced pistol.
Yeah. You're beyond help.
She'll be dealt with. But the officers said, this is just a final detail, the officers said that the mother was not under the influence of drugs or alcohol. So clearly it's just a severely degrading mental state.
She's drunk on life.
Yeah. Drunk on life. Yeah, she's drunk on the Lord and the Lord's goodness. She's drunk on spiritual milk.
Oh yes, aren't we all, Jack?
Aren't we all? And the final headline. Woman deliberately runs 49 red lights in ex-boyfriend's car to rack up fines after he left her for another woman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got his
So,
money up.
we've talked about in a previous podcast ways to get revenge on your ex, and we talked about, laxative birdseed and
That was
filling-
one of my best moments.
and filling a car with tinned tuna and putting the heater on.
Oh my god, yeah.
This is what she's come up with a new idea. We could probably talk to her. I'm sure she'd have some fantastic ideas for the podcast.
Can we
But
ring her?
the woman, identified only as Lou, rented her former partner's Audi. The car was handed to another man called Zhu, who with Lou. So there's Zhu and Lou,
Lou and
which is
Zhu.
Zhu and
yeah.
Lou.
They used the car in a 2-day marathon, committing traffic offences, including running 49 red lights. The
Did
car
they do
belonged
a poo?
to a man. No, traffic offences, Brandon.
Oh,
This wasn't 50.
okay.
There isn't a passage in the highway code that says thou must not shit during driving.
But imagine sticking your bum out the
So it's
window and just
legal.
letting rip.
No, but I don't think she would, because I think her logic was, I will cause issues for my boyfriend because or my ex-boyfriend rather, because this is his car. I think her sticking her arse out the window and dropping a poo will probably cause
Curling
some
one out on the
recognition.
highway.
Yeah. The car belonged to a man known only as Qian, who, according to the Global Times, had dated
Zhu and
Lou
Shan.
before leaving her for another woman. Zhu, Lou's accomplice, was reportedly promised a date with Lou if he joined the four-wheeled revenge plot. He also went to prison.
How long for?
Nice.
Got the date in
How many
prison.
years?
Yeah, they can date in prison. I don't know how many
many
years, but they have
decades
been
did they
charged.
get?
What do you think about that? Do you think do you think she was in the right?
I think
She's
she's
a
an
speed
idiot.
demon.
Yeah.
She was clearly angry.
I think it's quite a well thought out plan. I like the unsung hero Zhu, who just wanted some,
Some
Just
action.
own.
he just wanted some action, and he's been clapped in irons for it.
He wanted to slay Poon.
Oh God! All right, but so
my
so
God.
it didn't go well for Zhu, didn't go well for Lou, and I would say didn't go well for Qian either, because he's realised that because it's his car that's gone through the 49 red lights, and he's obviously done something to make her
We left her for another woman.
exactly. So it's a stain on his reputation. I mean, you've got to be a special kind of douchebag to make that happen, haven't you?
If someone left me for another woman, I'd be upset.
But then again, I don't want
Another one.
to psychoanalyze this too much.
A fellow female.
Yeah. Lou, the lady in question, does seem to be... Maybe this is a typical kind of insight into the mind of a manipulator, because
The
maybe
mind of Lou.
maybe she's the mentally unstable one because she's done what I might consider to be disproportionate revenge, and she's
Yeah.
also roped in poor Zhu under promise of some action, and she's got him in prison.
Poor
Wow.
Zhu.
Do you think she wanted to follow through with Zhu, or was she just
No, it's all
stringing him
no, I
along?
don't
She
think.
was using him.
Well,
It
no, but
always
if
comes back
she's-
to being used.
If she's like really like angry and annoyed at her ex, she's clearly not over the ex. So how could she
That
be?
is
Yeah.
very
How could
wise.
she be ready for
He
you?
was.
Yeah. How could she
He
be
was fucked
emotionally ready
chess
for him?
piece.
You can't prepare yourself for you.
No. Now for our beloved Florida Man segment, where Brandon guides us through weekly tales of the utter fruitcakes across the pond. For the latest in our forays into Floridians' frequent follies, Brandon brings us this week's Florida Man.
Yeah, so I got 3 people from Florida today.
Ooh, 3 of us.
That's
Gets
good.
increasingly better.
The Trinity.
Oh, good.
Yep. So to start off, Florida woman gets naked and goes swimming in stranger's pool.
Fair
Ooh.
enough.
Yeah,
Fair
it's
enough
a
to that
perfectly
woman.
valid thing to do.
It's
a
hot
nice
out,
surprise,
and a
isn't
Florida woman stripped down to take a nip. No, not a nip. A
Take
dip.
a nip, man.
So police say that a man returned home
Really
for an
enjoying this,
afternoon doctor's appointment and was greeted with a random naked woman in his pool.
Imagine if he came home with his wife to see that. That'd be so awkward.
I was going to say, depending on the
quite
circumstance and the physical appearance of this woman, this may be a great thing or terrible thing for this man.
Yeah, depending on his family.
Yeah, I was going to say his marital status is another
Yeah.
important.
It doesn't say
factor.
anything about that, but basically he came home and he saw a bunch of clothes that were like on his garden area,
And he was like, "That's not my bra."
and he saw her swimming. And he obviously called the police, and when they arrived, she was hostile towards law enforcement, demanding they leave her alone.
What did she expect? Did she think she was in the right? It's not her pool. Go to a public pool, for God's sake.
Yeah, she's an idiot. By the time they got her out, she then resisted arrest. So she's been charged with 2 charges: trespass and resisting officer.
What about being nude in front of somebody? Unwanted.
I don't think like public nudity is a crime. I don't think like being in somebody's back garden and being nude is a crime.
So, Jack, I could turn up at your house, get naked, and that wouldn't be a crime.
I don't think it would be a crime, no.
So could I do that to like anyone?
Well, no, George, because they'd have to let you in. And I also think that it probably comes under some level of sexual harassment if you're going there and deliberately stripping off to make people feel uncomfortable, because you can't be caught.
Enough.
So it probably would be misconduct.
Oh, I'll try it. I'll let you know.
Next Florida man, Brandon, hit
My
me.
next one is my personal favourite of the week. Florida man banned from playing tuba on the beach.
Oh no!
Why would they do that to
It's too
him?
good.
So he's called
Yeah,
Derek
too many
Nangle,
talent.
and he's been told that he's no longer allowed to play his tuba on the beach.
Oh, what is this? Is this related to the? Is this because of the Florida? Because there's a law in Florida, as we found out in a Factoids a while ago, that you're not allowed to sing while wearing swimwear in public in Florida. So is that what's going on here? Is
Well,
the tuba
no.
has the tuba been misconstrued as singing, and they've gone, well, I mean, sorry, but it says here you're not allowed to do that.
Well, basically, the beach patrol stopped him when he was cranking tunes.
Oh,
And he's a music therapy major, so he plays music to like ease people's like nerves and like anxiety
God,
and stuff.
he majored in music therapy.
Uh-huh.
Why
Oh.
does he play the tuba?
And basically,
Believe
a town manager told him that playing his tuba violated the entertainment ordinance.
What is
So-
the entertainment ordinance?
It's basically like the town council say that you can't play like music in like a public area without like something or other. I don't know like the full.
I'm going to look
like,
it up for you,
extent
but
of
I
it.
like the idea of the town council explicitly banning tubas on the beach.
Yeah, so he wrote to the town council like asking the rules to be changed, but they said like unless that happens, officials can fine him for disobeying it. So basically, at the moment, if he plays his tuba, he could get like fined, which is really sad because like he's a nice Florida man. He just plays his tuba and he wants to have a fun time.
He just wants to crank tunes.
Yeah.
We must revolt. Everyone grab a tuba.
I find that headline deeply upsetting. I think it might be something to do with noise, maybe noise complaint, maybe.
It's a beach though. It's not like particularly quiet.
who could morally do that and take away, unless he was doing that thing because he's a music therapy major, so he understands the link between music and the brain. Do you reckon he knows how to play like brown notes that make people shit themselves?
Oh, yeah.
Is it a thing?
No, he was
That could
playing.
be a thing.
He was playing a piece
That's
that like
crazy.
eases
I just wanna do
stress.
that
So he was
tonight.
actually playing music that helps people.
Yeah, but surely knowing how to that kind of knowledge could be used for evil as well. Maybe
I think he's just a nice guy.
maybe he
Unlike
knows.
the next one.
Oh no.
No.
All I can say is this Florida man is the incarnation of Joe.
Okay.
Florida man accused of stealing gator from golf course threw it around to teach it a lesson.
It's discipline, isn't it?
That's
Really, what
incredible.
This Florida man stole an alligator from a miniature golf course, swung it around by its tail and threw it into the air, and he was basically claiming that he was teaching this reptile a lesson.
Wait,
What
wait.
kind
It
of
was-
lesson?
it
It
was
was in the
alive.
golf club and it was just minding its own business. What kind of lesson is he teaching it?
Well, basically, it was about 3 a.m. where the police were patrolling, where they saw a man later identified as William Hodge attempting to throw a live gator onto the roof of the building. He grabbed it by the tail and hit it against a building and
Oh my goodness.
slammed it onto the ground and stomped on it twice. Really horrible. Like,
That
the
is
poor
really bad.
alligator. And the moment they approached him, he put his hand up to surrender and was taken into custody.
So
And
wait, so hold on. So 3 a.m. So what was he doing on the golf course at 3 a.m?
Trespassing.
So hold on. So he wants to teach the the alligator a lesson, right? Because I assume the lesson is something to do with you're not allowed into human spaces where you're not permitted. He does so while in a space where he's not permitted.
Sometimes you got to break the rules to make.
Well,
rules,
basically, he
Jack.
claims to have stolen it after wrestling with it.
Oh my goodness!
God.
Do you reckon this is? Do you reckon a larger alligator did the same thing to him when he trespassed in their territory? So he's just
Possibly.
trying to get back.
The
This
nice
guy's
thing
an
is,
alpha.
I can all assure you that the alligator was returned back to the golf course and it's okay.
With critical brain damage.
Yeah, it's beyond
But-
recognition.
But it gets better.
It looks like a ferret now.
It gets better, right? So he was
Yeah.
taken to the public safety department and was put in a holding cell. And he then threatened to flood the whole facility by balling up toilet paper to clog the toilet bowl and the drain on the floor.
Okay. I think I'm starting to see a bigger picture now of
This
why
guy
he
is
may have
great.
done this. I reckon it might have something to do with mental instability.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
been he's facing charges of animal cruelty, possessing or injuring an alligator, unarmed burglary, and criminal mischief.
Brilliant. Good.
And an arrest report didn't actually detail what injuries the alligator had, if any, but because it was returned and not taken to immediate care, we can assume it's okay.
Those are some great headlines. Thank you for bringing those to our attention.
I want to support the tuber man, by the way. I feel like he deserves
Yeah.
support.
Is there a petition somewhere that we could kind of get involved with
Oh, I can have a look.
to help him? You look at that while I tell you this, because there is a headline that I was trying to get into as a headliner, but I couldn't figure out how to kind of manipulate it in the right way. So I thought I'd bring it down to Florida Man, because it is an American person doing something weird. Nevada woman broke into dentist's office and yanked 13 teeth from a patient.
What? Savage.
Oh,
What?
God.
Took a
Like,
random
there was-
guy.
Is the person okay?
She has been dubbed the evil extractor. A woman in Nevada broke into a dentist's office multiple times to pocket tens of thousands of dollars and to extract 13 teeth from an unwitting patient. Her name is Laurel. Her last name looks like a sneeze. It's E-I-C-H. So I'm just going to say Laurel Ike, whatever. Laurel Ike worked there but was not a dentist and allegedly admitted to the sheriff's officers that she used anaesthetic her employer had binned to sedate the person while yanking the teeth. What she did with the teeth was unclear.
Wow. Could they not
In
find it?
addition to my collection.
So yeah, they go home and her walls are plastered in them. But she's been arrested and charged for performing surgery without a license, burglary, grand larceny, and violation of probation.
Why?
Oh goodness. What do you mean?
What do you mean? What? Yeah, she did nothing wrong, really.
Yeah.
Free right.
This is true.
There are no petitions for for Derek Nangle's tuber, but an article was published 7 hours ago just titled "Florida Man Strikes Again with His Tuber."
Oh, again. Hold on. So is there a history to this? Has there been caution before?
I think he's coming back. I think he's resisting it.
He's standing up to the establishment. Is what's happening. He's a rebel. I appreciate that. Derek Nangles, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I hope he's able to play his tuba in peace.
This week in Weird, what do you guys think is the most influential invention in history?
Sliced bread.
A printing press.
Printing press, that is a good shout. The wheel is also a good shout. Sliced bread, I know it's a common saying, but I don't think sliced bread in particular was an invention, really, was it?
But your bread wasn't sliced. No,
you can't patent sliced bread.
You can if you try hard enough.
Okay, I take that back then. What about something like airplane?
Can I say maths? Is that like possible?
No, it's impossible for you to say maths.
Is it like an answer that I can say?
You could, but is there an argument for saying that maths exists and humans just trying to understand it?
Yeah, no, but like the way that we express maths is invented by ourselves.
That is true.
It makes no sense we don't have to do it.
That's an interesting question. No, and we could probably talk a long time about that, but this podcast is not a place for intellectual discussion. I'm here to talk to you about the fart vacuum device.
Oh my god.
Oh, how does it do it?
This is the headline. Fart vacuum device claims to reduce the stench of flatulence.
Yeah.
Are you scrambling around aimlessly on the internet looking for the perfect gift for your friend, spouse, or parents? Well, have no fear. The fart vacuum is here to reduce the smell of flatulence.
Oh.
The vacuum, known as the Fart Vac, was created by... Oh my goodness. His name is Turd Ferguson.
No.
No way.
Is that his real name?
Turd spelled T-E-R-D-D.
Turd Ferguson.
Can't be his name.
He's so powerful.
It is essentially a hand-operated air pump that utilises an activated carbon filter. Fart Vac is the world's first fart vacuum and filtering system. Using a hand-activated air pump and an activated carbon filter, Fart Vac reduces the stench of flatulence. It's time to align norms and manners to what is healthy, the product description reads. You can now fart without shame. No more pain while fighting nature and holding in gas. I don't know, but I think it would be so funny if you guys... Oh, you think... I do... You think, I don't want to fart and embarrass myself. Let me just discreetly switch on my machine.
It's like horrifically loud.
A legal disclaimer for the product says, do not insert any part of this product in your body. External use only. And it also says... Also, if you fart a little too hard and it turns into a poop, the fart vac can't help, and you need a new pair of underwear, pants, and a good shower.
And probably a new fart vac.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, just in case.
I think the machine is fully hideable in your trousers. This might be revolutionary. We might all be wearing fart devices.
No, just hold it in.
No, I just let it rip. I just like when people listen to it.
Brandon lifts his leg fully into the air and just unleashes.
Sometimes I'll walk past someone and do it at the same time, so then they have to deal with it.
They have to inhale the fumes.
Oh my
God, you're so repulsive. Oh my goodness. Every time we hit a low in the show, we somehow manage to top ourselves. Well, in the spirit of quirky inventions, I'm going to give you a few inventions from the last 20 years or so, and I'm going to ask you, Dragon's Den style, if you're in or out, and what are your reasons for it, okay?
I'm ready.
Curveball. New game. The invention game, okay?
Oh, there's too many new things.
Is this weekly, Jack?
First up, Slugbot. Slugs destroying your garden. An artificial intelligence was debuted by the California Institute of Technology in 2001 and promised to crawl over soil looking for slugs using a light. When it spots one, it will pick up the invader and store it. Bacteria inside Slugbot digested the slugs, which would then be used as an organic power source for the machine. The British government is actually funding a new Slugbot prototype they plan to test in 2021. In or out, boys?
I'm
out. Just get a duck. Does the exact same thing for you.
Are ducks known slug predators?
Yeah. Ducks eat slugs and snails.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Have you ever put salt on a slug?
No, because I'm not an evil bastard.
Well, that's
They
just
melt.
one. It's just. Well, I'd just spend a load of money on a slug bot when you can literally just get a load of kitchen salt.
Yeah, they start bubbling and melting.
Do you have to murder the slugs? Could you just take it somewhere else? Just get rid of
Now,
it.
usually when I have slugs in my garden I need to get rid of, I put them on a bit of wood and I chuck it in a bush or something.
And you can prevent slugs from getting into somewhere by crushing eggshell. Like once you've used an egg in the kitchen or something, you can crush the shell and like put it on the outside of like a flower bed or something, and the slugs won't be able to crawl over it because it's
right. Oh,
sharp,
because it's. Oh wow, that's amazing.
Like cut themselves, so that's also.
They basically die.
They throw themselves onto the eggshell and die like really dramatically. So that's almost unanimously out from the slug pot, yeah?
Hell no.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay.
I'm out.
Next invention.
Just underwhelming, Jack.
Tomatan. Do you ever find yourselves hungry for tomatoes? Invented by the Japanese juice vendor Kagome, the Tomatan robot sits in a harness behind your head, pulls out tomatoes, and puts them directly into your mouth as you run.
Does it have to be tomatoes?
As you run,
I don't like
do you
tomatoes
have to
on
be
their own.
running?
Like, can it be like any other fruit?
Let's say, for the sake of it, no.
Could it not
Do
be
you-
olives?
Let's say it's built specifically for tomatoes.
No.
Do you have to be running whilst eating these tomatoes?
Yeah, when did the running start?
Yeah, I don't
I'm
run
out.
when I eat tomatoes.
I don't
Now
like,
it stops
I'm not-
working
I
when
am-
you're walking.
I am in though. I'm in.
You're in, Luke. You're in.
I'm in.
You want tomatoes in your
Don't
mouth while
like
you're running.
tomatoes.
I do.
Luke, you're going to regret that.
One of the news article, the headlines is finally a robot that feeds you tomatoes while you run.
Why
Oh,
does it look
gosh.
like a gremlin?
I've been waiting for this for years.
As I say. I've been
Finally.
waiting for this moment.
For all listeners, I will include links to everything we discuss in this show, so you will be able to see Tomatan for yourself and decide if you will be in or out. We've had everybody out apart from Luke, who's in. He loves the Tomatan.
I do. I think it's a great invention.
Luke, have you been dying for a tomatan?
I have. I've been. Something's been missing in my life for the last 18 years.
And now you know what it is, Luke.
He has
I
a
found
hole in his life that only Tomatan can fill.
Tomatan.
Third invention. A baby mop. When your little one is exploring the world on all fours, why not have them do a little cleaning at the same time? This onesie has soft mop heads on the arms and legs for scrubbing action. Created in 2012, it was inspired by a satirical ad in Japan, but there's nothing fake about how your floors will shine.
I'm in.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I agree
Get
with
the
that.
baby to the cleaning.
Make
I
the baby
trust
work. You know, if it's not doing anything,
The baby's not
force
paying
it
any
to
rent, so we might as well start the chores early.
Either that or get that mat that you can like strap your baby down, like weights.
It's so true. Babies, they don't do anything, do they?
So
Other than kind
lazy,
of cry
oh
and
my
whinge
God.
a lot. They should be put to work. You're right.
I'm not sure how that would help for like hoovering and stuff.
Okay, just get the fart. Just turn the fart back around.
I was gonna say no. It's not
I
for
imagine-
hoovering. It's for just for
Turn
mopping.
around.
It's not.
Luke, you just got to
I'd
turn the
imagine
fart
that
back
would just
around,
get all the
like the other
dirt
way.
in the frills and then just kind of spread it. No.
Oh, so are you? So Luke, were you in or were you out originally?
I was in. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna stay in. But
Okay.
as long as there's the pretense of you hoover first.
I think it is washable, but you will have to take the baby out of it first.
That's good then.
No. Babies are
Keep it in,
washable.
Jack. Keep it in. They're amphibious.
People are in. I'm amazed that the slug bot was unanimously hated, but people are into the baby mop and the
I
I
Tamagotchi.
don't like it because
Right.
I don't
Hate the
believe
slug
in it.
bot.
Invention number 4: umbrella shoes. How can one keep their feet dry during heavy rainstorms when caught in the open? Well, stick on some umbrella shoes, of course. They're essentially just little parasols that go over your feet. There's nothing to it. In or out?
Ugh. Ow.
Out.
Out. What
Don't
about
believe.
if you're wearing really like sexy leather shoes that you're just brand new and you get caught in a horrific rainstorm?
It's leather. It's waterproof.
Don't like my shoes getting
No,
wet.
but they do get but if they can get waterlogged.
Radiator.
You know, radiator.
Radiator.
You're out in the open, George. The radiator. Are you talking about a portable foot radiator? Is that your alternative?
Yeah.
Jack, it's the 21st century. You can find a radiator somewhere. It's bound to be one.
I'm going to look up portable foot radiator. There is no such thing as a portable foot radiator, George. So that is on you
Make
to
one.
make
I've
that.
got one.
You've got recently patented
So-
portable foot radiator.
It's still in
I don't know what
development.
That
you're
would be
reading.
I've
Disastrous.
got one. I'll send a picture of it. I found a picture of one.
That is a foot on fire, Brandon.
What?
That is actually accurate of what would happen if George tried to invent the portable foot radiator. Final invention. Everybody's out on the umbrella shoes, but you might like this one. The Euro Club. Not Euro EURO. Euro as in URO. On the golf course and need some urgent relief?
I've seen this one!
In 2010, urologist Lloyd Seskin introduced the Euro Club, a hollow golf club that allows a player to urinate discreetly. A fabric privacy shield will have observers thinking you're just taking a practice swing. Although I really would not recommend swinging whilst urinating, because that would not be good.
No, but it's like people would think, oh, he's just taking a practice swing with his penis out.
No, but that's why you have the screen.
Oh my gosh, that looks so sus though. That doesn't even look like.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Do you know what the fabric screen does not help.
Yeah, it's just like, look at me, I'm weird.
He would look normal if not for the fabric, but he is obviously clutching a wang beneath there.
I think you've just got to go with the look though. I think that looks great.
But the worst part is though, the urine's stored in it.
You're in.
So in.
So that means you get a drink as well.
I'm in. It's just an excuse to get naked in public.
Oh my god.
Okay, so people are in on the Baby Mop and the Euro Club. Luke is in on Tomatan. Nobody's in on Umbrella Shoes or Slugbot. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Of course not.
It'd be a fool to be in on Slugbot.
Ladies and gentlemen at home, write in. Let us know what you're in and out on. Also, if you have any crazy inventions that you've heard of at home, send them in and we can react. We can do it again. We can make this a weekly thing. Now, for a more erudite experience, our regular scientific segment presented by our very own Luke Potter, Lord of the Science Corner. Luke, what do you have for us today?
I have.
You said that different, Jack. You normally say, what do you have for us today, Luke? But today you said, Luke, what do you have for us today? So
It's just another curveball from me there. It's another. I'm just going a bit
I'm gonna have to
wild.
leave.
I don't even know how to answer that, Jack. I don't even know how to answer now.
He's out of control, isn't he?
Yeah, Luke's just sat there looking at his post-it notes, like sweating. Like, what do I do? Does he want me to start? Does he? What am I doing? Luke, what do you have for us today, Luke?
I have ants today.
You have ants.
Oh, unlucky.
So many
That's
ants.
so unfortunate.
No,
Are they up your bum?
This'll.
I have lice today.
Do you
I have crabs.
do you have ants in your pants, Luke?
Sorry, I'm like, no, I don't. I'm going to be talking about ants. It's not like a parasite in me.
You sure? Have you checked? Have you done a thorough examination?
I have. Don't worry.
Luke, tell us about your pubic lice.
Well, no. So ants, right? This all stemmed from from an article Jack sent me, and I'll go into that later. And it's very funny. But I thought I'd go into just a little bit of an overview of ants first. So ants emerged about 100 million years ago.
Where from?
From the realm of the
Mars.
ants. They finally stepped into Earth.
They came in from Mars in tiny little spaceships, and they landed, and they decided.
Not
this is
spaceships,
how-
ant ships.
That is true.
Yes, and then they became known as the dominant insect about 60 million years ago.
Dominant.
Because
Wow.
there's so bloody many of them.
It's a bit
They're
rude.
in an order of insects called Hemantothera, and that's basically the order of insects which form colonies.
Sex.
But which is really weird because all of the insects in this order
Sex.
originally.
Sex.
Thanks, George.
Can you not say
they all-
sex every time he says insects, please? For God's sake, we're above that.
This is gonna take ages
the grammar.
if they do.
That is beneath you.
Sorry.
Nothing's beneath us anymore. It's all your fault, Jack. You changed the order around.
I know, of course,
It's beneath
pure
me.
chaos. Let Luke talk about ants, for Christ's sake,
So,
please.
So all of the insects in this order all evolved independently, which is really weird because they all display this social behaviour. It's an example of convergent evolution, and it's really, really cool. Anyway, there are about 16,000 different species of ants. Scientists
Lies.
say.
16,000?
I'm assuming they haven't found all of them.
I've got a
That's-
quick fact.
That's
Cool.
somewhat, yeah, okay.
Do you want to know, out of all the species of ants, how many ants there are in the world?
Oh no.
Yes, I knew it's in the ballpark of, isn't it something like 10,000
Balls.
trillion?
10 billion billion.
10 billion billion. So there
10,000
isn't. So, because
trillion.
we've had a bit of a disagreement on this before about million billion, but is there literally no number big enough to describe a billion billion?
Yeah, like there are like so many.
18 zeros.
Yeah.
Well, it's clearly not accurate, is it? Because one probably's got born right now, so...
Yeah, that's true, actually. You didn't count for that, did
Yeah,
you?
yeah. What we really need is an
You didn't ant
exact
counter.
number of ants in the
We
world.
need we need a
Where are they then?
census. We need a
Well, I've never seen
census.
more than like 5 at a time. Where are we?
You guys may think that's absolutely loads, but scientists did like a survey a while back, and they were basically trying to see what the average number of legs for an animal is. Do people want to guess what the outcome was?
10.5.
10.5? 3, Jack?
I'm going to say 62.8.
67.8932138944.
10.
Thanks,
I'm
Brandon.
going to say 5.
No, it's actually 0, because there are so many worms.
Wow. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
so
That's amazing.
there are so
I
many
have
worms. No, but the worms, like...
You have worms.
Do you have a tapeworm, Brandon?
Yeah, he's called Phil.
Brilliant.
Fail. So anyway, that was a bit of a just a little snippet of information. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, ants occupy every single niche, basically, of every single environment. A niche is basically like an environment within a
Is it when,
bigger
like-
environment.
Oh, never mind. I got confused with Nice.
Niche, no, they're different things, George. So yeah, ants occupy every single continent but Antarctica, which is absolutely crazy.
Wow.
They're absolutely everywhere. And obviously they form these colonies, and the colonies are split basically into 2 sections. The first section being the
Section 1.
the worker section. So these are going to be like the worker ants and everything. And the second
Section
section
2 myself.
is the reproductive royal section. So this is
Whoa.
basically the queen and the queen's reproductive offspring. And so, as I've said, the queen produces all the workers, and she lays eggs and basically sustains the population of the colony. And the workers, they are infertile.
Oh no.
So
losers.
they only work for the colony, and they don't have their own kind of like
Oh,
generations being passed down. But what I
It's like the
found,
eunuchs.
that's
What?
inhumane. They're fully, yeah, it's like the eunuchs. That's inhumane. They should establish some kind of ant worker union so that they can
yeah,
protest their rights, their reproductive rights.
The Ants Republic of
Yeah.
Antarctica.
yeah. Establish a new state in Antarctica
It's called
where they
Ants
have full
Antarctica.
control of their own reproductive systems.
yeah, exactly. I'm sure if they had the brain capacity for that, Jack, they would.
It's a bit rude.
What I found interesting was that all the workers are females. So very much like
Oh, women
it just-
power.
It just gets worse and worse. Putting women to work like that, it's disgusting. It's patriarchy.
And the only time that you'll see a male ant is when a queen
Gets hot.
lays eggs for the wing dance, and I'll go into that in a little bit.
The worst day of the year is the day the flying ants come out.
It is. Well, actually, it's funny. You hold that thought, Brandon. Hold that thought. Luke, carry on.
Yeah. So, the type of worker that an ant will become is dependent on when the egg is developing, what kind of nutrients they get, and it's all very basically, as an overview, it's dependent on their size. So, a bigger ant will be a soldier, which basically defend the colony and fight other colonies, and then going down in size, they get more and more less labour-intensive jobs, as it were.
An accountant ant.
The smallest ants are called gardener ants, and what they do is
Amazing.
they raise the young and the eggs,
Oh.
and they also cultivate fungi for the colony to eat.
Oh,
They're
that's
little
amazing. So
farmers.
they're like little nannies, and they have little gardens that
Little
they
mushroom
they tend
farms.
to. Oh,
Yeah,
Little
that's
babushka
amazing.
making her
yeah, a babushka.
babushka making her little mushroom.
I will make all of my mushrooms for and to feed my little children.
Exactly, and it was at this point where I was prepping Science Corner that I found this really cool other snippet of information, which I'm just going to share because I think it's great. There's a species of ant called the weaver ants, and they're arboreal. They live in trees of forests, and they make their like colony homes out of trees, and they'll bend them over one another.
Oh,
So what
hello.
these ants will do, no,
I fucking Everything is made sexual.
I know, right?
There's no escape.
You like it with...
These ants will like get bendable leaves, bend them over, and then hold them in place, while another ant will get a
funky.
No, well, the other ant will get a developing larva, and the larva produce silk, and the larva will stick the leaves together using silk.
Oh, that's kind of weird and cool
almost
at the same
like,
time.
Almost like a spider.
Ooh.
And it's absolutely hilarious. You'll see like these pictures of if the gap between the leaves is more than one ant long, they form like an ant chain to connect the two. Is it like in Despicable Me when all the minions?
All the minions, yeah, they're all holding on to each other, yeah.
Yeah, it's literally like that. It's hilarious.
So why are they? Remind me why they're welding these leaves together with their jizz. What is the point?
That's not.
I like it.
It's to build the home for the colony.
Oh, I see. They're builders. Okay.
When an ant colony gets big enough, the queen will be like, "Yo, we've hit our carrying capacity. We're gonna need to start laying what is called royal eggs, and these eggs house larger winged ants."
Oh no! Don't like flying ants.
Unlike the other workers, these are sexually active.
Oh no!
These are males and females.
Oh no!
And so
I don't like it.
The queen
Chaos reigns.
The queen will raise these eggs. The eggs will hatch into the royal ants, and then they will grow up and everything until what is called the nuptial flight.
Day.
The nuptial flight. Yeah, I was going to say to anyone listening, this is a little known fact to anyone who's abroad, but that's how the UK royal family kind of came about.
Yeah, definitely.
The population got filled up, and then the queen was like, finally, I can lay my brood, and then she just fired them all out.
That's dirty.
The nuptial flight is the first flight that these ants take, and they leave the colony, and they go here, there, and everywhere, trying to find a mate.
I was going to say, because nuptial refers to marriage, doesn't it, normally?
I believe so, yeah. Usually, around the world, this is seen after days of quite humid, warm weather. So we haven't.
This definitely fucking qualifies.
Where I am at the moment.
Currently cooking in my bedroom right now.
We haven't had our nuptial flight yet.
We haven't had our nuptial flight yet. Are you serious?
No, I don't think we have, but I have seen winged ants getting ready.
Yeah, I saw a flying ant the other day. I
was going to say they're definitely having them down in Devon, aren't they, Luke?
Yeah, bloody flying ants, they're coming out again. I'm getting my guns and axes ready.
We'll get onto that in a second. So, these ants, they have the nuptial flight. Everyone has a massive orgy, basically. Males, they go off and die. Females, they'll lose their wings and they'll walk off to try and find a home to start their new colony. And because they've just been fertilised by many males.
That's why there's so many of them. Because all of the women become queens themselves and make giant colonies.
Yes.
Ew.
But not all of them. It's something ridiculous, like 60 or 80% of them die because there are so many predators. However, this has been observed in Devon quite recently.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it, Luke?
Yeah, it has. And there's been a bit of uproar with the locals because one predator of these flying ants in their nuptial flight are seagulls.
Oh, I hate seagulls.
And they quite like to eat the flying ants, and as they eat them, they obviously consume the signalling chemicals that these ants would produce between each other, one of which is called formic acid. Okay, this acid, it has certain effects in the seagulls.
Doesn't have laxative effects.
No, but it basically puts the seagulls into a drunken state.
That is, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
And so very bizarre behaviours of these seagulls have been observed. So like grabbing food from people's hands, raiding bins, and personally my favourite, flying into buildings and or cars.
They are just so pissed. That's this. So the headline that I sent to Luke was, I didn't read the article, but it's the first I've ever heard of this in my life, so I thought I'd send it to Luke. Why seagulls get drunk on Flying Ant Day? And Flying Ant Day is capitalised at the start of each word, so it's like a historic thing.
Isn't that Devon Live?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now, like,
that is
as
exactly
a coincidence.
It. DevonLive.com, yeah. And what was really funny as well, hashtag flying ants was trending on Twitter on the day of this article was published. I found this tweet here. This is all that it says in the tweet. Peacefully sitting in my garden under the shade, and suddenly they have appeared.
Well, the thing was, there was a video I think that went with this article, and I looked at it, and it was like the ant infestation kind of thing.
Yeah.
I literally looked at it, and it was like this camera spanning around. You saw like 4 ants, and that was it. And I was like,
Yeah, I'm trying to find a video.
what an
and I found
infestation!
I'm watching a video called Flying Ants and Flocks of Seagulls, and it has one comment. A guy called Saint Apollonius, we've just commented, dinner time.
Oh my god!
Wow, he is enjoying it. I wonder whether he is like thinking he's commenting it because it's dinner time for the seagulls, or whether he's looking at that and his stomach's rumbling and going,
Yeah.
oh god, yeah. That is incredible. So they get drunk on the was it formic acid?
Yeah, formic acid.
And they just fly around and smash into things and steal things. That is incredible.
I'd like to see drunk seagulls versus drunk George.
I reckon he'd be able to take him
I feel
down.
like that'd be a good battle.
Get 12 Stellas down him, and then get all the flying ants down the seagulls. Fight.
That would be more intense than Avengers Endgame
I'd
by
win.
far.
I don't know about that, George. They are pretty drunk.
Well, George has just stood there, and out of the portals, just seagulls are flying at him.
With like a horde of flying ants like in front of the seagulls, luring them in.
Yeah, and the only thing that George has on his side is like 85 empty Stella glasses.
Yeah, guys, I guess we've been waiting and anticipation. Good.
Oh,
my God.
that you need to be removed for that. That is disgusting. How dare you drop that kind of filth pun on this podcast right now?
I'm bringing culture and humour to it.
I do have to say, Joe, like seriously, it is amazing how you manage to get a pun out of like any situation that we come up with on this podcast. I think you should be
it's called being
commended.
resourceful. It's kind of wonder.
If I was in a better mood, I'd give you an honorary point, but I'm not going to do that.
Please, I need
Such
it.
culture and humour from you, Joe.
I need it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for what all of the boys have been waiting
Factoids.
for,
Oh yes.
it's some trivia to end the show
Headliners.
in our weekly
Factoids.
segment entitled Factoids.
Headliners. Oh, yeah.
Where I read out, you bastard, where I read out 3 facts. 2 are true, while 1 is a load of bollocks.
Bollocks.
It is your job to identify the bollocks. This week, our factoids are based around vehicular crime, wacky inventions, and ants.
Oh
Nice.
yeah.
Strap in, gentlemen.
I
Strap
have
on.
strapped.
Factoid number 1. Police used ketchup to capture the great train robbers.
Who are the great train robbers?
I was just saying, these like some people called
These
great
people are
train
meant to
robbers.
know.
The
I
f-
just did
Just
a
like
really
a
loud
series
fart.
of criminals.
Oh,
Jack,
God,
you're just
not-
going to hear a loud
Not
fart.
another one.
Another one.
Not another one. Oh, God. Okay, well, we'll see how that comes out in editing.
Another one.
Factoid number 2.
No.
The flush toilet was invented by a man named Thomas Crapper.
Oh, I think that's,
Funny, poopy,
I think that's
funny.
true.
Factoid number
I think that might be
3.
true as well.
An ant is the fastest moving creature on the planet.
Boo.
I never
Rubbish.
thought ants.
Is that like relative to its size?
So, discuss the factoids. We'll go for the factoid number 1 first. Police use ketchup to capture the great train robbers.
Can we have a bit more context on like their plan?
Maybe they're like...
Well, the great train robbers were a group of 15 men in 1963 who stole £2.6 million from a Royal Mail train.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could just, like, throw ketchup on them and it'll drip, and then you just follow the ketchup drip, and then, like, you find the money and the robbers, and then you
What?
take them to prison.
You let the ketchup drip
Is that how you think? Okay.
back to their lair.
That's a very, very wise, astute observation from Brandon there.
How would somebody use the ketchup, though?
Did the ketchup like poison them, and then in their dying, like last moments, they confessed all their crimes?
That'll be excellent.
Is that how it worked?
Maybe they're, like,
Like,
allergic
the
to
police-
it, yeah.
The police had to go through like 100 people before they got the right people, but it was worth it.
They poisoned everybody until they got them.
Just like small town.
Number 2. The flush toilet was invented by a man named Thomas Crapper.
I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah, I feel like that's true. I feel like I've heard.
I feel like I've heard that in primary school when we did it.
Factor number 3. An ant is the fastest moving creature on the planet.
Yeah, it says fastest moving,
think
but I guess that
that's
doesn't mean like
wrong.
Because like if
Yeah,
you
does it
put a
mean, like-
cheetah next to it, cheetah's gonna win. But I think fastest moving as in like reaction time. Is that
Or
different?
it's like relative to its size.
I think the ketchup's the bollock.
I think it's the toilet one.
You think it's the toilet one?
Yeah.
Okay, so George thinks it's the ketchup one. Brandon thinks it's the toilet one.
I know ants cover quite vast distances when they're like foraging and stuff. I don't know. I think it's the ketchup one.
Luke also thinks it's the ketchup one. Joe, what do you reckon?
Yeah.
I don't like ants, so
So you, just based on the fact that you don't like ants and you don't think it could have the achievement because you don't like them, out of
Yeah.
spite, you're picking the third factoid. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Cool.
Can't argue with that.
Fair enough. Well, I can tell you, gentlemen, and those at home who are obviously waiting in anticipation,
Clearly at the end of their seats.
the bollock.
I know I am.
Yeah, they are. They are. The bollock is, in fact, factoid number toilet.
Yeah!
What?
Does that mean I get another
I don't believe you.
point?
Brandon gets
Yeah, I can
another
make it.
point.
Oh.
Stop.
Brandon gets another point.
points.
I could have sworn Thomas Crapper made the toilet.
Well, it is a very common misconception that Thomas Crapper invented the flushing toilet, but he actually did not. During the Bronze Age, the Minoans, which are a civilization in
What the
Greece.
hell is a bullcock?
What?
What?
I just googled Thomas Crapper and apparently he didn't make the toilet, he made the bullcock.
You sound so sickened, George.
I expected better of Thomas Crapper.
It's a valve, isn't it?
It's just literally called bullcock.
Yeah, it's a valve for to stop backflow and stuff.
That's so the rubbish.
It's a common misconception, but actually, flush toilets were invented during the Bronze Age by the Minoans, which was an ancient Greek civilization, at Knossos in Crete. Their royal palace there had a toilet which consisted of a wooden seat, earthenware pan, and the rooftop reservoir as a source of water. The forerunner of the modern toilet was invented by the Elizabethan courtier Sir John Harrington, who was banished from court when his book on the subject poked fun at important people. So they ignored his pretty staggering achievement of devising this new toilet, and just because he did a bit of jokes at other people's expense, they kicked him out.
Wow.
I thought that was quite
Sounds
rude,
like he's a bit of a loser to me.
but therefore not worthy of sympathy or attention.
Exactly.
Thomas Crapper, however, did much to increase the flushing toilet's popularity and introduced several innovations, including the valveless wastewater preventer, which allowed the toilet to flush effectively without leaving the flush water running for a long time. Another misconception about Thomas Crapper is that the word crap comes from his name. This is not true.
Aw.
And the surname Crapper is a variant of Cropper, which originally referred to someone who harvested crops. The word crap comes from medieval Latin crapper, which means chaff, which is obviously the husks from like wheat and stuff.
Thomas Crapper's just crap. He just made a bullcock.
He invented the
Pretty
ball
much just
cock.
sums him up.
Yeah. So Thomas Crapper invented the ball cock. What a legacy to have. Police used ketchup to capture the Great Train Robbers.
How?
After this robbery, the gang hid at Leatherslade Farm in Buckinghamshire. Following a tip-off from a herdsman who used a field adjacent to the farm, a police sergeant and constable called there on 13th of August 1963, 5 days after the robbery. The farm was deserted, but they found that the truck that had been used by the robbers, which had been hastily painted yellow, as well as the Land Rovers used in the crime. They also found a large quantity of food, bedding, sleeping bags, post office sacks, registered mail packages, banknote wrappers, and a Monopoly board game. Although the farm had been cleaned for fingerprints, some finger and palm prints, presumably of the robbers, had been overlooked, including those on a ketchup bottle and on the Monopoly set. And the Monopoly set had been used after the robbery for a game using the stolen money.
Oh, that is amazing.
How badass is that?
Dear God.
So Monopoly and ketchup was their downfall.
What a stupid person.
See, if you would have said Monopoly and ketchup, I would have been like second one all the way.
Yeah.
I think it was misinformation.
That was actually the original factor, but I cut it down to make it sound more believable.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Or
sus.
unbelievable, rather. It's interesting as well because the bulk of the money was never recovered.
Oh.
How much
Is it
was it?
still in like some Monopoly boards?
£2.6 million.
Surely that's loads. When was it?
1963.
So it must be loads more now.
So £100 in 1963 is now £1,000, 783.22. So that is a lot. That is a
How did
lot
they
of money.
calculate that?
So £1 million in 1963 is now 17,832,000. But I don't know whether the figure given on the Wikipedia article, 2.6 million, is in 1963 money or in current money. So I don't know.
Oh, whatever.
But either way, it's a massive amount of money that they stole. So there you are.
That's a little bit of money.
It's a bit, yeah, a small bit of money.
Tiny bit.
Smidgen.
And then the ant is the fastest moving creature on the planet. You had decent logic in saying that it was reflex time. That was probably the closest you got to it. But it isn't actually just relative to its size. It is legitimately the fastest moving creature on the planet. The jaws of the Dracula ant snap shut at 200 miles per hour, which is 5,000 times faster than the blink of an eye. The tiny insect is comfortably ahead of the cheetah, whose record running speed is 60 miles per hour. So its jaws snap shut at 200 miles per hour.
That's quite fast.
And that is the fastest moving animal on the planet. Their powerful jaws work like a mousetrap, except the latch and spring mechanism are all in one. The ants use this motion to smack other arthropods, likely stunning them, smashing them against a tunnel wall, or pushing them away. Instead of pushing their jaws together, Dracula ants slide one across the other in a motion that takes 23 microseconds. And they use venom to stun their prey, which are then brought back to the colony for the larvae to feed upon. Now, the name Dracula ants, that doesn't come thanks to their rapid fangs.
Is it because they drink blood?
It's due to their unusual feeding habits, yeah. Queens and workers practice a form of what is called non-destructive cannibalism, which involves chewing holes into and feeding on the hymerlymph, which is insect blood, of the colony's own pupae and larvae.
That's weird.
Eat the babies.
They're pretty horrible creatures, but they are the fastest moving creatures on the planet.
That's pretty cool.
They
Eat
are.
the babies now.
So Brandon identified the bollocks, which means that Brandon is the winner of this week's Cloud 5.
Brandon's
Oh,
Yay,
nice.
what do I win?
Well done, Brandon.
You don't win anything yet because I literally improvised that we were going to be doing a competition during the episode.
You make me
So, but you do have the knowledge that you bested your
Stop getting
colleagues.
that.
You bested
Yes.
us, Brandon.
I
Yeah,
win.
you
I've still got some fight left in me.
And it's almost, I mean, almost, you might almost get a bonus point because you were the only person to identify the bollock, which I think is an achievement in itself.
Yeah.
Well
Give
done.
me more.
Well done, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you enjoyed Factoids. That does it for this week's episode of Cloud 5. We hope you've enjoyed our nonsensical ramblings and perhaps even learned something fun. If you have any questions, facts, corrections, or silliness to send our way, you can contact us at cloud5cast@gmail.com, leave a comment on the Cloud 5 Podcast YouTube channel, or tweet us at Cloud5Cast using the hashtag Cloud5. We also now, as of today, have a TikTok that you can check up. We're at Cloud5 Podcast on TikTok. Yes, we do.
Yeah, we've got TikTok.
And we'll be uploading highlights and stuff on there, little clips.
I don't even own TikTok myself.
Get it.
Yeah, you should get it. It's a good app. I've also noticed, guys, this week that we didn't have any correspondence from Ronnie Lobster.
Where is Ronnie Lobster? Can someone tweet? Shall I tweet at him?
Yeah. Do it. Tweet
Ronald.
Tweet at Ronnie Lobster.
What is Ronald doing?
Ronnie, last week we asked what your Florida man was, and we want to know. Okay, get in touch. I hope we hear from him again.
Yeah, I thought we had something special, man.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
God. So that's us done. I mean, do you guys have anything else you want to chat about before we close off?
Something's still in my foot.
Oh no, I was gonna say we should check in on George. How's that going?
I tried. It didn't. I can't. I haven't got. I just need help.
Just sleep it off.
When you say it's in your, how deeply embedded is it?
I can't tell really.
What?
Take a
what do you mean?
picture
I can
for us.
sort of see it, and it kind of hurts.
Is it
Send
a
a picture.
phantom?
Send a picture. and
Send
we'll,
pics.
We'll assess it.
Send
Yeah.
pics now.
All right now.
Right
Yeah.
now. On the podcast. We're going to solve it in real time. This is a bonus
Alright.
for anybody who's listening to the end. You get to hear our live medical advice given to George Farrington. I am in favour of just purely amputating the foot.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Give him a stump.
Yeah. I mean, you'd look cool if you give you like a wooden foot.
No, I don't
Right,
even.
it's on Snapchat.
Like a wooden
Like
spike.
a war veteran.
Okay. I mean, you could use tweezers to get it, or just.
It's just like
I
a
mean,
spin to George.
the skin on the foot is actually quite thick, so you can probably just cut it out, and
could
you won't
suck it
really
out.
feel anything.
Show me
Might just
sucking.
like
Form a
cut my
seal with
ankle.
your mouth and suck it out.
Use the fart vac.
Yeah,
That's
use
such a good idea.
use the use the fart vac. That's the only option.
I might have to invest.
Yeah. So you're in or out on the fart
It's the
vac,
only
guys?
option.
I never actually asked in or out on the fart vac.
Out.
I'm in. Because then it saves all my farts for
out.
later.
Oh God, I wish I hadn't asked. Joe, were you out on every invention today?
I don't believe in inventions because I didn't make them. So
So
Nice.
don't you think inventing something like that qualifies you to be a winner in the winner book?
no, because I didn't do it.
Because you didn't do it yourself. It's therefore
Yeah.
useless to you.
I didn't approve.
see.
They should have asked my permission.
I like that kind
I
of
didn't.
bootstraps DIY attitude you got there. I appreciate
I
that in a
like
man.
it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
George has gone silent again, which I assume means he's either severed his own foot or has followed my advice and is sucking it.
Now I'm just.
So,
Well, I can't really get my heel to my face.
do you have tweezers?
Well, George, that takes practice.
Not on me, so.
I used to bite my toenails when I was a child, so I have.
Oh, you're quite
practice in
nimble
that.
then.
I'm
Joe.
a spry and limber.
That is disgusting.
I know it's disgusting. I don't do it anymore, obviously. But it was. I
Obviously.
used to do it when I was a kid. Oh my goodness! While you guys are here, I didn't get to mention it at the start, but my family have had a bit of an issue. So my sister had a friend over tonight. Who's meant to be having a sleepover, yeah. And she's gone out. It's the first time she's really been over for a sleepover because she often gets quite homesick. And so she'll come over for a sleepover and then have to go home because she gets homesick. This time she was literally sick in our hallway.
Oh,
Who, your sister?
Lovely.
No, the friend.
Oh, the girl.
Was it down anyone?
No, but it was all up the... Yeah, no, it was. It was all up the wall, all across the floor. So the newly painted wall, all up there, all across the floor, and all across my mother's feet.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, that's really
Right near
nice.
the toilet as well. She kind of just stopped mid-walk and was like, I feel sick. It's like, well, move! But she did not move.
Did you kick her?
she's a loser.
No, I don't think it would have been in good taste to kick a child who's just thrown up.
Oh.
A
It's the best time
9-year-old
to be
child.
expecting it.
Jack, I don't know what you're on about. That's the only logical course of action.
Yeah,
Kick
you're right. You're right. It is. Has anything like that ever happened? Has any of yours? Have you or a sibling thrown up or shat on a family member?
No.
I've been trying to.
When I was a
Oh,
baby,
do you want to hear
I
a
did.
story?
Oh, Brandon, I'd love to hear a story.
So when I was a baby, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've told you this before, but I used to have this thing called nappy off time,
What?
where basically it would be a time for me to
Sounds
lie down with no nappy on and relax as a baby. So anyway, my mum put me down with some of my toys, like my toy drum. 'cause I used
Your
to
mum
play
put
with
you
my toy drum.
down.
So
Euthanize.
she took my
Happy
nappy
okay.
and just let me play with my drum and went upstairs for a second to do something. And when she came downstairs, I had managed to do a poo on the drum and play it.
my
So I
God.
proceeded to get poo
Hey.
everywhere,
That
and
is
my poor
tremendous.
mum had to spend like 4 hours with little baby Brandon, like sanitizing the entire house.
Ew, that's disgusting. I assume your parents don't. I assume because of that incident, your parents don't let you do nappy off time anymore.
No, they don't.
No.
I'll keep it
I
on.
think
now.
it's
I'm not
time
that
to
Brandon's
Nappy
household is
either.
Brandon's household
Nappy
is a
free.
thoroughly nappy on.
Everyone knows
everybody.
that I have
Proven
like
ethical.
urges now whenever I see a drum.
Do you? Urges to crap on it, to Thomas
We have to keep
Crapper on
you
it.
away from it.
Wow,
Don't mention him, Jack.
that's a disgusting story, Brandon. Thank you for sharing that.
This is very sad.
I had my aunt thought I'd done a similar thing, but it wasn't actually shit. I was in the car. It was the first time my aunt had ever had to like drive me somewhere alone, so she was quite nervous because because this was before she had children either, and I was very young. And she thought, oh well, just because I'm a fun aunt, I'm a nice woman, and I want this child to like me, I'll give him a Jaffa cake. So just the one. Yeah, just the one Jaffa cake. So you think, what could really go wrong with one Jaffa cake? We get onto the motorway, and she turns around, and I am absolutely covered head to toe. I've worn the Jaffa cake. It's like I haven't even eaten any of the chocolate. I've just kind of rubbed it all
Just
over myself. Yeah, and it was absolutely horrific. And she just panicked. She didn't know what to do.
God.
Yeah.
Assert your dominance. Jaffa cakes everywhere.
Multiple Jaffa cakes. I was gonna say, the best part about the story is that it was one. It was like I unleashed such hell with just one Jaffa cake. What if she'd given me two? What would have happened? It'd just be the entire back of the car. like completely plastered in it,
Chaos.
wallpapered in chocolate. Yeah,
Oh.
that's amazing. Well, I will leave. We'll leave George Farrington to suck the seashell out of his heel, and we will see you, all of you listeners. Hopefully, we haven't scared off our French listeners. So please return. But we hope that you enjoyed this week, and that we hope we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.